All right, we're going to do the presentation of colors.
Ready? 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 Order. Present. Play. Order. Forward. Play. Play. Hey. Forward. Play. Play. Play.
And now Isabella Velasquez, who is all of 9 years old, will sing our national anthem for us.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and our home of the brave.
Thank you, Isabella. Thank you very much. So I've got to follow that. That's awesome. Thank you. Before I begin with my remarks, I do want to welcome our former and current council members. We have two special guests. The former mayor of Pinecrest, Cindy Lerner, who is a candidate for District 7 to be our county commissioner. She's here. Thank you for coming, Mayor. And we have our own state representative, Nick Duran. Thank you for coming, Representative. Our former council members who are in attendance, George Mendia. All right. Mayor Myra Lindsay. Gary Gross. They've got Allison as former, but she's still on council. I wasn't fooled. Betty Conroy, Betty Sim Conroy's here. Raul Llorente. Mayor Joe Rasco. Theo Holloway. And then for current members, we have, did I miss any former? Did anybody walk in?
Michelle.
Oh, Michelle Estevez is in the back. You're hiding out. Thank you, Michelle. For current, we have our Vice Mayor, Brett Moss. We have Allison McCormick. Katie Petros. And Ed London. Am I missing anybody on my current council? Well, thank you all for coming. Ed, I want to say good evening. And before I begin my address, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the passing of our first village manager, Sam Kissinger. I think we should all honor his memory and his incredible dedication to helping this village through its infancy. All key residents should be grateful for his hard work and his perseverance. And tonight, as we continue the work of our founders and the administration that was there to guide them, I think it's appropriate if we stand and give a round of applause in the memory of Sam Kissinger. Thank you. Can you hear me in the back okay? I don't know if I need a microphone. As I enter the second year of my term as your mayor, I am pleased to report that the state of the village is good and the future is promising. Overall, our budgets are healthy. We maintained an exemplary level of services despite seeing a decrease in aggregate assessed values of 2.6% and a decrease in our property tax revenues of 0.62%. This is a function of both a disciplined management and a council and a community having the political will to increase our millage from 3.1 for fiscal year 2019 to 3.195 for fiscal year 2020, a number that remains the lowest full-service rate in Miami-Dade County. We have approximately $15.1 million in our reserves, and we have a debt capacity that stands at $83.1 million. With that said, there is still much to do. This past year has been a challenging one in many ways. At the top of our list of concerns is beach water quality. We continue to work with the University of Miami and Miami-Dade County to confirm the likely causes of the contamination of our beaches, with the increasing amounts of sargassum on our beaches and stormwater runoff from both our island and the mainland being the likely culprits. Rising sea level is also a focus of this council and will likely be a focus of the councils that follow us. As a barrier island, Key Biscayne has felt the direct impact of tidal and storm flooding, and with this in mind, the village is focusing on resiliency and sustainability on our island. I am pleased to report that we are beginning the search for a full-time Chief Resiliency Officer to coordinate efforts that include implementing a major upgrade of our stormwater system, including new pumps, and the possibility of adding filtration wells. Our CRO will also work along with the 2040 Strategic Vision Committee/Board to create a comprehensive resiliency program which will review our zoning code to determine if there are ways in which we can improve the code and better situate our island to be more resilient and sustainable, as well as to consider major infrastructure investments, such as the much discussed undergrounding of utilities, raising our streets, and reviewing the older portions of our sewer lines that may need additional work. The causeway, our only means of entry and exit from our beautiful island, has been the setting for several tragic incidents and played host to various controversial events that have aggravated the traffic congestion. Our village staff is working closely with the county and the city of Miami to create a plan to deal with both expected and unexpected traffic problems on the causeway. Perhaps the most important issue related to our causeway is that its own aging infrastructure will require significant work to improve and renovate it. We are currently working with the county and with the city of Miami to create a plan that works for all stakeholders, including the village of Key Biscayne. This past year, our staff implemented new accounting methods, resulting in a change from the traditional manner in which our budget workshop and our budget hearings were conducted. As I stated at the close of the second budget hearing, next year's budget process will be greatly improved over what we gave you this year. Over the 28 years since incorporation, this village has taken pride in open and transparent government, and there remains room for us to improve. And I promise the residents of Key Biscayne we will do better for you next year. During our recent budget setting process, the village committed sufficient resources to maintain our services at the high standards expected by our residents, while at the same time setting funding aside to address the resiliency issues that we are facing as a community. We also fully funded our capital improvement budget that strategically focuses on resilience, quality of life, and public safety. The village is embarking on roughly $7.6 million in capital improvements that will address lighting on our streets, traffic improvements, parks to address our open space and recreational needs, and cultural projects such as village artwork. Further, we are implementing improvements as to accessibility to and from our village government facilities, including a redesign of the village roadways. We have also budgeted for the Safe Routes to School program. And finally, we are constructing a park at 530 Crandon. We've also set aside funds for the potential burying of utility lines, Master Bridge repairs, and the Crandon Boulevard bike and pedestrian improvements. Separately, through the Stormwater Enterprise Fund, a recent increase in the stormwater rate fee will help to fund a portion of the approximately $18 million in improvements to the stormwater system, including conveyances, that is, catch basins, manholes, pipings, and outfalls, and on-site disposal systems like recharge wells and pump stations. Our credit rating remains in high standing despite the risks associated with king tides and poor weather conditions. With respect to the sargassum that continues to inundate our beaches during certain times of the year and may be a part of the issue with regard to our water quality, we are looking at several different ways to deal with the problem, including looking at possibly reducing the amount of sargassum that needs to be removed. And we are also discussing with the City of Miami a possible site on which to compost the sargassum. All of these will require substantial commitment, efforts, and funding across many levels of government. To that end, this council has dedicated $550,000 to beach maintenance, and we have requested a matching amount from the state of Florida. We are also working to become part of a study by the Army Corps of Engineers with regard to shoreline protection. We are hopeful that in becoming part of that study, we can be included in the Corps' beach maintenance program for Miami-Dade County's beaches, the last of which went on for 50 years. This would allow the federal government to assume the responsibility for maintaining the beaches and thus better protecting our island. To that end, we have engaged engineers to perform an initial review of the impact of beach renourishment on the sustainability of our community. We have continued to respond to the community's desire for more green spaces through the acquisition of 571 and 599 Harbor Drive. These contiguous properties will further assist in the improvement of our stormwater system and already promise to improve our insurance rating with regard to flood insurance. We are proud of our partnership with our schools to help improve our children's education experience and make Key Biscayne a safer and more enjoyable island for them. Our police department continues to deliver a top-notch level of service that has us ranked as the safest community in Florida and one of the safest in the nation. Our fire department provides us with a multitude of life safety protections, including our well-trained firefighters, all of whom are trained as paramedics, and provide our community with outreach programs about drug prevention, teen-related issues, CPR training, and fire inspections. Both public safety departments work tirelessly for us, and all of our public safety and all of our people should be commended for what they do for this community. Our Parks Department and athletic programs continue to run smoothly, as well as continuing to broaden their offerings to enhance the recreational experiences of our residents on this island. Our community center is bursting at the seams with children and adult programming that villagers take advantage of daily. At the same time, we remain committed to offering many great family-friendly events for everyone to enjoy, from our Winterfest, which is coming up this weekend, to the 4th of July parade, to a couple of our newest additions, the Key Biscayne Car Show and the Key Biscayne Piano Festival. Our Public Works Department continues to work hard to improve our quality of life. And if you've seen the lights outside, I want to commend them because they did an incredible job this year. Over the next few years, we're going to rely on them greatly, as there will be many projects, including stormwater, undergrounding utilities, and other resiliency programs that will demand their full attention. The village will also always face challenges, and together we will continue to work hard to overcome them. We need to continue to protect our island paradise, working to update our infrastructure as necessary, protecting and improving our way of life and our investments. This will take a village. All of us as a village participating, helping, being engaged citizens, and being kind to one another. I know this is possible because of the quality of the people in this village. And I know the dedication of our volunteers and their concerted efforts to work for the betterment of our island will make us a better place. I am confident that in 2020, things will only get better for Key Biscayne. And finally, before I close, I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to the two people who volunteer more time than most with me, my wife Maria and my daughter Mia. I want to thank them for putting up with everything, for giving me their support. Thank you for everything you do to help me help the village. And again, I want to thank you all. So with that said, I want to do a presentation to the volunteers. And what we'll be doing is we'll be calling out the chairs of each board. And if you're here, if you could come up and accept on behalf of your groups. We've got a few to go through, Gary, so it's going to be a while before we get to the bar. First, we've got the 2040 Strategic Vision Plan Board Committee. Is Lucho here? Lucho's not here. Tom McCormick's here. Tom, can you come up, accept? Thank you, Tom. Martha Lead, are you here? I know Laudy's here. Laudy Abada?
Yes.
There she are. Thank you for coming. Robert Tezuglu. Is Tony Camejo in the house yet? No, I'm just acknowledging you all. You don't have to come up. Tony, if you want to come up, you can get it. Mario Garcia Serra, Lucia Marin, Matt Bramson, Lenny Weber. These are the people who are working to get our village going in the right direction over the next 5, 10, 15, and 20 years. So thank you for that. We also have a former member of the 2040 Strategic Vision Plan Board, Raul Llorente. Thank you for your services and your efforts. Art and Public Places Board. Is Lourdes here? Okay, Lourdes Joffrey Colette. Bill Durham, you're here. Can you come accept? Oh, Karen's here. Karen Llorente? You coming up? Rosa de la Cruz, Diane Grobe, Joan Matheson, and Diane Moss. Dee Dee? And then we have the former Art and Public Place members, Gloria Kahn and Gina Coleman. They just came off the board. And thank you for all you do. The Board of Special Magistrates. Michelle, you're here. Michelle, come on up. Can you accept for everybody? Now, I don't know if anybody knows, some people don't even know we have special magistrates, but what they do is they adjudicate violation notices. You want to get to know them, and you never want to have to go in front of them. They adjudicate violations with regard to our code compliance. They subpoena violators and witnesses for hearings. And so they're here to enforce our laws and to make sure that we're a safe community and that people are obeying what we put out. The EAB, the Education Advisory Board. Kristen Guess, come on up. Lily Warner. Paloma Ferreros. Is Paloma here? Suli Olivaria. Jeffrey Gonzalez, I thought I saw him before. There he is. Thank you, Jeffrey. Oscar Sardinas is here. And Dante Sensi, I don't know if he's here. But these folks put a lot of effort into trying to work with our local schools to enhance them where they can. We try and work with, the village tries to work with these schools to fill in sometimes the gaps where the school district isn't able to handle things and enhance programming. Is that a fair statement? Thank you. And Marcelo Kingston, is Marcelo here? Okay, the Board of Trustees for the Pension Board. Keith Bean, is Keith here? Daniel Valdez, Ed Easton, Wes Pritchett, Bill Stevens. I'll assume they're working hard. This is yeah, exactly. They're all trying to make things happen. Our next board is the formerly known as the Land Acquisition Committee, the Parks and Open Space Board. Pat Woodson, are you here? Pat Romano, come on up, please. Alan Fine, Fernando Romero, Eileen Nicholson, Claudine Cotto, and Nancy Davis. Thank you, Pat. These are the folks who were able to get us 571 and 599. They worked on the Heather project, and they do a lot. They're always looking to enhance our open spaces in the acquisition department. The former Land Acquisition Committee members who may be here: Steve Simon, Mary Jo Pinedo, Bradley Newsom, and Marta Zacasa Torres. Thank you for everything you do. Village Athletics Advisory Board. This is a board that always has the fun of choosing the next people to handle sports for our children, so there's no contention with this board at all. Glenn Waldman is the chair. Ken Cotto, Florencia Minero, Victor Ballestera, Paul Zuccarini, and Gonzalo Cordobaria. So thank you for what you do. The Village Beautification Board. They provide advice and recommendations to the Village Council on the overall appearance of the village. Is that a fair assessment? Just checking. I want to make sure Ceci's okay with it. So Cecile Sanchez is the chair. Come on up. Anna Grieven. Claire London. Gina Coleman. And Jackie Kellogg. We're all part of this team. Thank you for what you do. Now the Winterfest Committee, they may be in organization mode, but do I have Mary Tague? Is she here? Okay. Robert Zuglu, are you still on that committee? Can you come on up and take for the Winterfest folks? And Clint Bush, is Clint here? Thought he might be here. And then Melissa White, where are you, Melissa? Did she already run out? Come on. All right, well, the Dog Park Committee has sunsetted, but this is one near and dear to my heart. They put together and finally got us a dog park after a long period of working hard and trying to find a spot for it. So on behalf of the committee, the remaining members, I guess, after Katie was elected, and I don't think I was ever even on that dog park committee, but Jill Stevens is the chair, Andy Garcia, Conchita Suarez, Nancy Doak Harrison, and Claire was the final chair? Okay. Claire was the final chair. And Alejandra Parapar. Cookie. All right. And Tracy Ellis was, yeah, that's right. She was on the committee at the end. Apologies for that one. The K through 8 school senior volunteers. This was an opportunity, and it's done very well, Betty. I think, you know, it enhances the lives. It engages our seniors with our kids over at the school, and I think it's been a great, valuable program, and I'm glad to see it going forward. Is Lois here?
She may not have been able
She's
to,
not, okay.
I've become like the advisor.
Right.
She does all the work, so I wanted Lois to get to.
No, Lois Greenberg does a tremendous job.
She does.
So thank you to her. We love Lois. The Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to have Tatiana. Can you come up and accept on behalf of all of the members, all the board members? Oh, did Melissa run out? She is a coward. A coward, I say. Because the Key Biscayne Community Foundation is a host of services for many of our residents, specifically and for the village. The foundation hosts the Citizen Scientist lectures and programs, wellness in schools, manages the on-demand transportation system freebie, although we are transitioning over to the village, cultural programming, youth civic engagement, anti-bullying, and aids the village in environmental efforts. So thank you to Melissa, wherever you're hiding. The Historical Society. They collect and archive and display items of historical significance pertaining to Key Biscayne's history. I'm excited they're going to start using our council space as we'll call it a pop-up museum, so we're very excited to have them starting this year. And on behalf of the society is Ann Tainter here. Oh, that's why we have no desserts. What's that? Brett's not on no, we can't start that again. We're not doing that thing. That's not happening again. Anna Rivas Vasquez, Jane Morris, Ed Meyer, Frank Kaplan, Ed Sanchez is here. Ed, you're taking on behalf of your team. Come on up. Joan Gill Blank, Father Libby, Ron Herbal, Prudence Gill, and Alicia Estefani. Oh, there's Alicia. Okay, Alicia as well. Thank you. And Brett Moss was on the board, but I don't think you're on the board anymore. Is that correct? City Theater on the Key, which brings forward programming on the island in the City Shorts production. And that's Susie Westfall who puts that together. So Susie, if you're not here, thank you for everything you do. The Ask Club, one of the most important clubs I think we have on this island. They do a lot of programming for our seniors and provide opportunities for physical fitness, mental, social, and emotional engagement and community engagement. And they have some fun parties too. So Ed Stone could not be here tonight. Andrea Bertel, are you here? She just said no from somewhere. Oh, Marilyn, would you come up, please? Our fearless Marilyn Miles. We have Adelina Quevedo, Lois Greenberg, Mariana McCroskey, Sally Brody, Cliff Brody, Dora Posada, Bobby Savage, Kathy Vale, Prudence Gill, Kirstine Escalay, Chris Biggers, Adelina Quevedo, Bob Neck, Joan Hubble, and Dottie O'Brien. So thank you for what you do. And next we have the Key Biscayne 4th of July Committee. Come on up. On behalf, Theo can accept. Theo's here. Come on up, Theo. This was the first group I ever joined on Key Biscayne. And they have just done an amazing job of putting on this parade. And this is volunteers who commit year-round to raising money, putting this parade together, and putting it on. And I think, frankly, it's one of our signature events on Key Biscayne is that parade. So thank you, Theo. Thank you, Austin Tellum, Eric Labrador, Francois Wynn, Jonathan Griff, Pat Peralta. There you are. Pat Romano should be on this list. Rafa, Rudy, Sally Piquel, Alexa Holloway, Peter Vivas, and Patrick Kelly. Thank you all. I am privileged to be in your stead. Ed Sanchez and I we put the stakes out every year. Again, we're not on the list. Do you believe this? Outward Bound and Peace First. This is an effort to engage our young people and give them opportunities to grow as leaders and to enter in adulthood. And on behalf, this would be going to Pat Woodson, but unfortunately she couldn't be here tonight. But thank you, Pat. Thank you for what you do. TNR, Trap, Neuter, and Release, which is an effort to care for and monitor the cats on Key Biscayne. I want to thank Susan Sawyer. Is Susan here? No, she's out of town. Okay. Thank you. The Youth Council. The Youth Council provides novel ideas on municipal issues from the perspective of our youth. And so, Lucia, can you come up? Lucia Rodenberg. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for what you guys are doing. And then we have KITS, Kindness in Schools, a group of volunteers creating opportunities to foster and encourage kindness at school. And I think it's so critical. And Laudi's here, so I'd like Laudi about it to come up again. It's Laudi, Susana Gadala Maria, Yvette Fernandez, and Kim Vincent. But I think what they're doing is tremendous, and I can't support this enough. So thank you very much. And then we have the Key Biscayne Car Week, which shows our inaugural was this past year, showcasing a one-of-a-kind vehicles for a fun family event on the Key for all to enjoy. Francis Reeves, I saw you walking in. Come on up.
Mr. Mayor, let's get my co-chair, Mary Hay.
Where's Mary there? Is Mary here? Sorry, I just had you down. Mary Tague. And then the piano, Key Biscayne Piano Festival, which is just entering its second season. They have I'll give a shout out. We went to their inaugural event for the year. Their second event will be on December 13th. They're bringing forward really incredible talents. I think it's really been impressive, and they've really allowed the kids actually to interact with these artists who are just amazing and real professionals. So I encourage everybody, if you get the chance, to come over. Amarili, are you here? Amarili Fridigotto. She is not here, but she is also serving on the Winter Concert Advisory Committee. Thank you for everything you do with that program. And now we have another group that's been sunsetted, but I do want to thank them for all their hard work because they did a lot. Our former Underground Utility Task Force Committee. They spent an incredible amount of hours looking at our community, trying to figure out the best way to put undergrounding, trying to put forward undergrounding of our utilities. And while we are right now on a hold, while we wait to see what comes out of the Public Service Commission at the state level, their work is just been invaluable, and I think it will be invaluable on a number of fronts. So I want to say thank you. Don Ellisberg is here. Take them back there. Take them back there. Michael Bracken, Billy Kimball, Fernando Vasquez, Servando Parapar, Martin Cohen. Thank you all for everything you did. The Lighthouse Run Committee, an event put together to provide program support and financial assistance to youth and families who need it, and a way for my daughter to show me that I am old and she is fast. I want to thank Marco Gomez. Who else is on there?
I'm sorry, Michelle was also.
And Michelle Estevez.
No, but Michelle was in the
that's right. Yeah,
underground.
Michelle, you're in everything. Michelle's in everything. Michelle Estevez. Thank you. And this, let me just pause for a minute. This is why I wanted to do this. You know, we used to do this back in the day. When I first moved here, this is what we did. We had volunteers and we said thank you. And I think we kind of got away from that. We started taking our volunteers for granted. And I don't think that's right. I think you people who come out and put your time in to all these events, you're what makes this village the village. So this is our way of saying thank you to you for everything you're doing, because you're volunteering your time as well. And time is valuable. So thank you for what you contribute to this village. So I'm going to go down the volunteer coaches, and folks are supposed to see Todd to receive a small token of appreciation for all your hard work, which is probably Tylenol and a glass of water for dealing with our children. Paul Zuccarini, flag football and baseball. David Marino, baseball. Scott Hardy, baseball and flag football. Juan Miguel, baseball, flag football. Will Earl, baseball, flag football. Michael Alessandro, baseball. Abad Melwani, baseball. Jill Castro, baseball. Alvaro Silva, baseball. Eric Rodenberg, if he's still awake in the back, baseball, softball, and flag football. Scott Davis, baseball. Forrest Wester, flag football, basketball, and may have received a discount. I don't know what that means. Dave McDaniel, baseball and flag football. Rugby, a sport that just seems to be growing and growing on this island, which is incredible. Agustin Alamanye, Alejandro Kong, Alejandro Nino, Alejandro Valenzuela, Alex Bartolini, Alfredo Del Rio, Alfredo Lalani, Benjamin Blanco Pinto, Bruno Sardenberg, Carlos Corto, that's French is going to throw me off, Cesar Esquide, Christian Crossler, Esteban O'Farrell, Esquil Sporlader, thank you. You jump right in if I'm messing up the names, please. Federico Torres Garcia, Gaston Medico, Gaston Ortega, Gaston Pellegrini, Herman Tos, Geronimo de... These Argentinians are going to kill me at the end of the day. Geronimo de Cugno, Gonzalo Cortabaria, Gonzalo Torres Garcia, Gustavo Civeta, Hernan Cristalde, Hernan Golod, Hernan Lopez Varela, Hernan Marino, Ignacio, we're different, Ignacio Sanchezini, Ignacio Walker, Isidro Fernandez, Javier Caserly, Juan Gentil, Juan Iribarne, Kelly Joyce, Leandro Beer, Marcelo Di Cugno, Marcos Bunje, Mariano Medina Walker. Yeah, this is not the players, folks. This is just the volunteers. This is just the parents. Nicholas Segal, Nicholas Young, Norberto Pisoni, Pablo Cremache, Pablo Keller Sarmiento, Reynaldo Figueredo, Ricardo Marotta, Sebastian Bustos Rapa, Sebastian Salvat. Would you stop making fun of my pronunciations, please? Stefani Cantarel, Tomas Yankelevich, Troy Benson. Where were you in the beginning? And now the best for last. And I apologize if this gentleman's here. Wenceslau Halliburton. I'm not making this up, folks. These are the people. But they dedicate their time. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to all of you. Really. What's that?
The Latins,
Oh, the Latins.
they are all volunteers.
Of course, I like it. No, but we're Key Biscayne. We're different. We're different than everywhere else. We're volunteers. People come, we put this village together, and we've run it as volunteers. And I think that's pretty darn impressive. I think we have a really good spot. We're really blessed to live here. So I do just want to end by saying thank you. Thank you for everything you do. Let's keep doing it. 2020 is going to be a great year. So let's keep at it, and the bar is open. Thank you.